Hello everyone, this is Dr. Manoj Sir, the training head of Imperial Overseas Educational Consultant. Now look at the recent trends for students who are writing a GRE in the next couple of weeks. This is as per the feedback we have received from students who have written it right now, so I guess the trend will follow. I'm clustering the quant into three important clusters. The first and the foremost is data interpretation. Keep in mind DI, as we shortly call it, will come in section 1. And out of the 12 questions, 3 are DI. So roughly your 25% of the portion is depending on DI. So this becomes your biggest factor in your chances of getting a good score. Second important topic is statistics. Now, mean, mode, medians is again coming back in a huge number. And the third topic is numbers. I'm repeating, DI stats number is your biggest cluster. I mean, I can put it across that it can be around 60% of the actual GRE paper. The second cluster is important, and I put in cluster 2. They would be something like geometry. I would say fraction decimal percentage. That's your second important topic in that cluster, and probability. And the last cluster will be actually coordinate geometry and the rest of the topics, which could be algebra, inequality, series. So these are your three important clusters. Remember, as of now, coordinate geometry is making an entry only for one question, and there are huge formulas coming in. Now, this becomes your quant section. If you want to ace your quant, your first section or the first cluster, which I told you, is going to be the biggest factor. Now, let's look at the feedback we have received from students who have written the GRE as of now from the verbal sector. Technically, a lot of students have done a vocab of only 400, 500 words, and that is where the prompt comes in. To be honest with you, if you have done less than 800 to 1000 words, there are two areas which will have to struggle. One is reading comprehension and one is sentence equivalence. Make it sure you have done a vocab of around 1000 words. For vocab, you can use any of the coaching classes material which has been given to you, or you can use a Magrush app also, or a Kaplan. Anything which has a 800 to 1000 commonly used words. Another thing is when you're writing the mock papers, there are a lot of words you'll see it first time. I would suggest make a list of it, search for the word, that would be the biggest factor. And one of the most important aspects which a lot of students actually neglect, and this is the feedback we have received from universities, the AWA. Keep in mind, one good part of the AWS, it will only come from the selected topics which have been given to you. And this is your first section. Remember, it's a pressure paper, it's a time-bound paper. And the very first section you'll face is AWS. So if your essays goes well, the rest of the section you are ease out. And most of the universities have a cutoff of 3 or 3.5. Lesser than that, they will not take you irrespective of what your GRE scores is. So start working on your AWA, the important clusters of quant, and please check your vocab because GRE is more vocabulary test on the final day. Thank you. All the best. In case you have doubts or difficulties or you feel like to contact us, below the link there is the entire email ID and my cell number. All the best. God bless.